welcome to all of you. So, in this lecture of the dermatology, so as you all know, we were discussing about the viral infections of the skin. So, here we will continue our previous lecture. We have completed herpes zoster, and now in this discussion, we will continue our lecture with the start of the next virus, that is the HPV infections. HPV infections. HPV stands for the human papilloma virus. So human papilloma virus. So infections due to the HPV, human papilloma virus. So HPV is a DNA virus. So most of the virus, as we discussed, are the DNA viruses. So it is a DNA virus, and most common presentation due to the HPV virus, human papilloma virus. So most common presentation or skin presentation is the warts. Most common presentation due to the HPV is the warts. So that is the most common presentation. Most common presentation, it means when there is a HPV infections of the skin is presented with the warts. So it means HPV, human papilloma virus infection of the skin. So then the skin is presented with the warts. So what are the warts? Other name of the warts is the verrucous. Warts are nothing, just other name of the warts are the verrucous. Verrucous. Verrucous mean rough. Rough. And when there are the warty lesions, lesions, wart is a verrucous, and when there are warty lesions of the warty lesions, we call them verrucous. What you call them? Verrucous. Clear? So for the new joiners, today we will discuss the HPV, human papilloma virus infections. So most common presentation due to the HPV, most common skin presentation. When there is a HPV infection, skin is most commonly presented with the warts. Warts mean verrucous. Verrucous mean rough papules. So warts is nothing, just we can define the wart. It is a papules with rough surface. So warts is the papule with rough surface. Rough surface means verrucous. So that is the wart. So it is a papule. Wart is a papule with a rough surface. Therefore, we can call the warts as a verrucous. Due to the warts, there are papules, and we call them warty lesions. So lesions of the warts, we call them the verrucous. Verrucous. Verrucous mean warty lesions, and verrucous mean warts. What are the warts? Warts is the papule with a rough surface. Papule with rough surface. Clear? And there is other difference. When someone asks you, so what is the difference in the wheat and the corn? So how you differentiate the wheat from the corn? So here is the wheat versus corn. Corn is very painful. It is very painful, Lian. But wheats are mostly painless, Lians. Mostly wheats are painless. But just these are the papules. So how will you differentiate? Because your patient will tell you he has a pain. Patient has a pain. But these are papules. The wheat is a papule and corn is also papule. So how will you differentiate? So on the surface or the plantar surface, you will remove the topmost layer. So remove topmost layer, topmost layer of the white, topmost layer of the corn. If you have corn or if you have white but you don't know patient has the whites or the corn, so you will remove the topmost layer of the lesion. If the blood oozes after removing the topmost lesion, okay, that is the wart. If the blood oozes, if you remove the topmost layer from the lesion, that is the wart. But in the corn, after removing the topmost layer of the lesion, blood will not ooze. So in the corn there is absence of the blood. Absence of blood. This is the difference in the warts and the corn. So again repeating. So today we will discuss the HPV, human papilloma virus infections, and most commonly when there is a human papilloma virus infection, skin is presented with the warts. Warts mean papule with rough surface. Actually, warts are the papules with rough surfaces. Therefore, we call the warts at verrucous mean rough. Verrucous mean rough, and lesions are called as warty lesions, and we call them the verrucous. 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 So when there is a wart, it means there is a papule on the plantar surface or the on the face. How will you differentiate whether it is a wart or it is a corn? So warts is most commonly painless lesions and corn is a painful lesions. So how will you differentiate it? So both have the lesions, and that lesions are rough lesions, lesions with rough surface. Okay, so you will remove the topmost layer from the lesion. After removing the topmost layer from the lesion, if blood oozes, that is wart. If the blood will not ooze, there is absence of the blood after removing the topmost layer of the lesion, that is corn. So this is the difference in the wart and the corn. So in the core there will be a too much pain. So when you will remove the topmost layer, so pain will be, or the frequency of the pain, threshold of the pain will decrease, but blood will not ooze out. Clear? So it means we call it shaving. Shave the lesion. Shave the lesion. Shave the lesion mean remove the topmost layer of the lesion. So you will shave the lesion. After shaving the lesion, pain will reduce, blood will not ooze out in the corn, but blood will ooze in the case of warts. So warts are the viral infections. Most commonly virus is the HPV. So let's discuss the different kinds of the warts are the viral warts. So viral warts. So causative agent for the viral warts is the HPV. So human papilloma virus. So there are the different types of the warts and there are the different subtype of the HPV. Clear? So let's discuss the different types of the warts and different subtypes of the HPV. So here is the types of wart. And causative agent is the HPV, and you know HPV subtype. HPV subtype. So when first type of the wart is the deep plantar wart. First wart is the deep plantar wart. Other name of the deep plantar wart is the myrmecia. 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 So HPV subtype is the subtype 1. HPV subtype 1. So second type of the wart is the superficial plantar wart. Superficial plantar wart. Other name is the mosaic. Mosaic wart. Myrmecia. Myrmecial wart is the deep plantar. Mosaic wart is the superficial plantar wart, and subtype is the subtype 2. HPV subtype 2. Clear? So it means plantar warts are two types. One is the myrmecia deep, and other one is the mosaic, that is the superficial plantar wart. Okay, third wart is the verruca plana. Verruca plana. Plana mean plain. Verruca mean rough. So rough plaque on plain surface. We call it plain wart. Plain wart. Verruca plana. Verruca mean rough and plana mean plain. So that is the rough wart or the plain wart. So most common subtype of the verruca plana is the 3 and 10. 3 and 10. So 3 and 10 HPV is the subtype of the verruca plana. Next, fourth one wart type of the wart is the verruca vulgaris. Verruca mean rough or wart. Vulgaris, vulgaris. Vulgaris mean common. So other name is the common wart. Common warts. So subtype of the HPV for the Verruca vulgaris common wart is the 4 and 2. But most common is the 2 is prominent. 2 subtype is most prominent. Okay. So next one, fifth type of the wart is the epidermodysplasia verruciformis. Epidermodysplasia verruciformis, epidermodysplasia verruciformis, and HPV subtype is the 5 and 8. 5 and 8. So let's again discuss types of the wart, subtype of the HPV. Deep plantar wart is the Mesia, subtype 1. Superficial plantar wart are the mosaic wart, subtype 2. Verruca plana are the plain warts, subtype 3 and 10. Verruca vulgaris are the common wart, 4 and 2. Most common 2 is the prominent, and the epidermodysplasia verruciformis, that is the 5 and 8. Okay, so this one out of the Verruca plana. Okay, so this Verruca plana is most important because this is most commonly present on the face with flat surface. So it is present on the face and flat surface. So what mean papules with rough surface are present on the face and the flat surface. So this Verruca plana, it also shows as the positive Koebner phenomena. So it shows as the Koebner phenomena, positive. So Koebner phenomena is present. What is the Koebner phenomena? We have already discussed multiple times Koebner phenomena or Kibner phenomena. So you can forget all that one, but when question is asked, which of the word has the Kibner phenomena positive, we call it pseudo Kibner phenomena positive, that is the Verruca plana. Verruca plana has the pseudo Kibner phenomena positive or Kibner phenomena positive. So let's discuss some point related to the Kibner phenomena. So these words are present on the face. So look at this one is the face. Okay, here is your forehead, eyes. So maybe these rough surfaces are present on your face. So these are the papules present on the face. So when you scratch this word, after scratching, when there is a trauma to this word, scratching, trauma, okay, so when there is any itching to this word, so then it will spread to the nearby surface. So it will make a lesion on the nearby surface. When you scratch it, after that you will scratch this nearby area, so that what will spread to the nearby surface. It means virus will spread to the nearby surface, that is the Koebner phenomena. What is already present when you scratch the wart, when there is a trauma to the wart, or when there is any infection to the wart or itching to the wart, so that definitely you will scratch it, and then you will scratch the nearby plane surface. So nearby plane surface will also develop the wart. So that is the pseudo Kibner phenomena or Kibner phenomena is positive. Only Piruka plana or the plain warts, it will show the Kibner phenomena positive. Okay. So next one wart is the STI. So other type of the wart, type number 6 and subtype. So that is the STI, sexually transmitted infection, or the sexually transmitted infection, or the sexually transmitted wart is the anogenital wart. What is the word? Anogenital. Anogenital wart. This only this is the wart that is the sexually transmitted. Anogenital wart. So other name of the anogenital wart is the laryngeal warts. Okay, so anogenital wart is the sexually transmitted, and HPV subtype for anogenital wart is the 6 and 11. Here is the sexually transmitted. Only this wart is sexually transmitted. But otherwise, other all warts can be transmitted through the skin contact, skin touch, when the skin is contact to skin contact, skin to skin touch. So these are the viral infections, so they can be transmitted. Only sexually transmitted wart is the anogenital wart, and that is due to the subtype of HPV is 6, but 6 is most prominent than 11. And last type of the wart is the butcher warts. Butcher warts. Butcher warts. So most commonly subtype is the salmon. Most common subtype is the salmon. Okay, so these are the 7 types of the wart and their subtype of HPV. Clear? So which one wart will show the pseudo-Keebner phenomena positive? Verruca plana. Which one wart is sexually transmitted? Sexually transmitted wart is the only anogenital wart. Clear? So let's discuss then again. When there are viral warts, how will you investigate? What are the investigation for the viral warts? So investigations for viral warts. So most common type of the investigation is the histopathological examination. Histopathology. You will do the histopathology of rough papule. You know, the warts are the papule with rough surfaces. So when you will do the histopathology of the rough papule, so you will see there are the halo cells. What represent halo cells? Other name of halo cells are the collocytes. Collocytes are present. Halo cells are the collocytes. In all kind of the warts, viral warts, you will see there are the halo cells are the collocytes. So what are the collocytes? Collocytes are the irregular nuclei in size, shape, and color. So even when you see the nuclei, so the nuclei of the cells are the keratinocytes. So this is the keratinocytes that is infected by the HPV. This is the keratinocyte, and that keratinocyte is infected by the HPV. HPV infected keratinocytes. So when you look this keratinocytes, so nucleus of this keratinocytes will be irregular in shape, size, and color. It will be a colorful nuclei. Okay, and we call it hyperchromatic nucleus. What is that? So this keratinocyte has nucleus has the different in shape, different in size with color, colorful nuclei. So we call them the hyperchromatic nucleus of the keratinocytes. Hyper mean more, chromatic mean colorful. So nuclei will be more colorful. So epithelial cells. You know, in the epithelial cells, there are the keratinocytes. So the keratinocytes, when they infected by the HPV, they have the irregular nuclei with colorful, or the irregular in shape, size, but with color. So we call them the halo cells will be seen, or the collocytes can be seen. Clear? So this is the investigations, histological examination. So what is the treatment after the investigations of the wart? So next is the treatment. How will you treat the viral warts? So treatment is very simple. First one treatment, you can go give the TCA. TCA mean trichloroacetic acid. Trichloroacetic acid. So this trichloroacetic acid can be used, and that is the trichloroacetic acid is a chemical cautery. So this is a chemical, and this causes the chemical cautery. Surgery, in the surgery you will discuss cautery mean cutting or burning and then removing the tissues. Cautery, CAUTERY. So what is that? CAUTERY. Cautery. TERY. Cautery mean, you know this is the tissue. You will cut this tissue by, you will burn this tissue, and then after the burning you will remove this tissue. Burning and removing of the extra tissue from the body, that is the cautery. So what is the chemical cautery? It means when you apply the trichloroacetic acid, this trichloroacetic acid will kill the wart by destroying the proteins, by denaturing the proteins. So this is a chemical. So when you apply this chemical on the rough surfaces papule, so this chemical on the rough surface papule, here are the proteins. So these proteins will destroy due to that chemicals. So chemical that kill the warts. So when the proteins will destroy, definitely wart will kill. Chemical that kill the wart by destroying the proteins in the cell. So then it will cause the wart to shrink and eventually disappear. So when you apply the trichloroacetic acid, it is a chemical. This chemical is applied on the wart or the papule. So this chemical will destroy the proteins in the wart. So this wart will shrink and eventually disappear. It means you are doing nothing with the virus, just you are going to destroy the proteins in the wart. So when the protein in the wart will destroy or the denature, so wart will shrink and then eventually disappear. That is the TCA. So that is the chemical cautery, chemical burning of the parts of the body. So next treatment after the cautery is the cold therapy. Second line of the treatment is the cold therapy. Cold therapy. So we call it cryotherapy. Cryo, cryo mean cold, therapy mean treatment. Cold therapy or the cryotherapy. So what will you do in this cold therapy? You will use the liquid nitrogen. What is used? Liquid, liquid nitrogen is used or applied. So here is a wart on the skin. So first you will cut the wart with knife. Okay, so cut the wart with the knife and then apply the liquid nitrogen. So this liquid nitrogen instantly, within a second, it will give the minus 196 degrees Celsius temperature. So it will become excessive cool. Okay, so due to the repetitive cooling, when you apply the liquid nitrogen, first you will make a cut and then you apply the liquid nitrogen. So a temperature of this area, applied area, will become minus 196 degrees Celsius. Okay, so this will cause freezing. This will cause freezing of the wart. So this repetitive repetitive freezing, it will destroy the nerves. damage the nerves. So nerves will damage, and then this wart will automatically shrink. Okay, but this is painful process. Painful process. Freezing of your proteins or body part, so you will definitely feel a pain. So next one is the cryotherapy. It means cold therapy. In the cold therapy, what is applied? Liquid nitrogen is applied. First you will make a cut. What is that? Trim the wart with small knife and then apply the liquid nitrogen. This liquid nitrogen will give the temperature of minus 196 degrees Celsius, cause the freezing. This repetitive freezing will damage the nerves, and but that is the painful process. Cryotherapy is a painful process. Okay, so next one is you can cut the electrically or the electrocautery. Third one technique is the electrocautery, but that is not commonly used. Commonly used is the TCA, trichloroacetic acid. So let's discuss again one by one important kind of the words. So first let's discuss the sexually transmitted. STI, sexually transmitted infections or sexually transmitted wart, that is the anogenital wart. So let's discuss anogenital wart. Anus and genital mean genus, genital part of the body. And other name of the anogenital wart is the condyloma acuminata. Condyloma acuminata. Acuminata mean pointed wart. So when you look this wart, so this will be present on the genital organs. Lol, maybe this is the simple shape of the penis. So and the prepuce. This is the prepuce, and this is the non-circumcised individual. So in this non-circumcised individual, so there will be a pointed. These are the pointed rough surfaces. These are the rough surfaces, but these are the pointed rough surfaces on the male genitalia. So this will appear like the cauliflower like appearance. I will also share the image with you. So there appear the cauliflower like appearance. These are present on the genitalia, male and female genitalia, and these are pointed, and these are white and pointed look like the cauliflower like appearance. So what are the clinic causative agent? So here the angiogenital wart we have studied, that causative agent is the HPV 6 and 11, but most prominent is the 6. 6 is more dominant over the 11 HPV subtype. So what are the clinical presentation or clinical feature of the anogenital wart? So I have already told you acuminata mean pointed. So lesions are pointed lesions. Pointed lesions. And first one, second one, these lesions are the pink and verrucous lesions. Color of the lesions is a pink. Verrucous. Verrucous. Pink verrucous lesions. And I have already told you the difference between wart and the corn. So wart is a painless, so mostly it is the asymptomatic. Asymptomatic. So these are the clinical presentation. Clinically, patient will present with the pointed lesions on the genitalia, male and female genitalia. When you check these lesions are the pink in color, and the most of the time these are asymptomatic. But their appearance will be cauliflower-like appearance because these are pointed. So where these lesions are present, site in the male, genitalia, male genitalia, and the female. In the male genitalia, in the non-circumcised, these are present on the coronal sulcus, especially in the non-circumcised, and frenulum. So these are present in the coronal sulcus and frenulum, especially in the coronal sulcus of non-circumcised patient, especially who are not non-Muhammadis. So in the non-Muhammadian, these are present in the coronal sulcus and the frenulum, but in the case of the female, these are present into the posterior fourchae. Posterior fourchae. Posterior fourchae. Posterior fourchae means this is the anus, and then here the vagina. So there is the junction between anus and vagina. Here these can be present. So this is the posterior fourchae, junction of the anus and the vagina. So these can be present in the male and the female both. So how will you treat it? What is the treatment? So I already told you the treatment. We can go with it cryotherapy, and also, but here is the specific treatment that is you can use it, that is the topically. You give the topical imiquimod, 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 and you can also use the podophyllin, podo, PHYLLIN, podophyllin. These are the immunomodulators. Imiquinol, imiquimod, 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 and podophyllin. These are the immunomodulators. So how they work? Actually, you will use them topically, not give the systematically. So actually, what is their mechanism of action of the imiquimod? So these will act on the toll like receptor 7 and 8, TLR. So they will work on the toll like receptor 7 and 8 and improves the immunity. So they amiquid mode. So amiquimod, it is the mechanism of action of the amiquimod. It will work on the TLR, toll like receptors, and the toll like receptors are 7 and 8, and then it will improves the immunity, improves the immunity. So therefore they are known as the toll like receptors agonist. Clear? So toll like receptors agonist. So we are using them topically. Clear? So these imiquimod and the podophyllins, these are the teratogenic. Teratogenic. It means when any chemical substance is teratogenic, they cannot be used for during the pregnancy. So you cannot use them for the pregnant female. So when the pregnant female has the anogenital wart, so what is the treatment? So treatment in pregnancy. Treatment in pregnancy or for the pregnancy. So treatment in pregnancy, you will use the cryotherapy, cold therapy. If the cold therapy is not available, then you can use the TCA application. Clear? So during the pregnancy, you will not use the Amiquimode or the podophyllene because these are the teratogenic. So in the pregnancy, you will prefer the cryotherapy and then you can use the TCA, trichloroacetic acid. But when there is a some Buschke Leuenstein tumor, what is that? Buschke Leuenstein tumor. Buschke Leuenstein tumor. Buschke Leuenstein tumor means giant angiogenital wart. So it means when the wart will become bigger in size, we call them giant. Giant anogenital wart. Giant anogenital wart. That is the bigger wart. Or we call them other name of the giant anogenital wart is the Buschke Leuenstein tumor. So for the Buschke Leuenstein tumor, treatment is nothing, just only surgical excision. Surgical excision. You will remove it surgically. Surgical excision is the treatment for the giant or the Buschke Leuenstein tumor. Clear? So here we have completed our with anogenital wart. Next wart, that is the water wart. Page number is the 11. Next wart is the water wart. Water wart. Other name of the water wart is the molluscum contagiosum. Molluscum contagiosum. Molluscum contagiosum or water wart. Okay, molluscum contagiosum. Molluscum contagiosum, it is the molluscum contagiosum. There are different types. So type of the molluscum contagiosum can be 1 to 4. But most common type is the type 1. Type 1 is the most common type. So most common type is the type 1 is the most common type of the water wart or the molluscum contagiosum. But when the HIV positive patient, type 2 is most common. Type 2. So when the patient is HIV positive, then type 2 of the molluscum contagiosum virus is most common. So here the molluscum contagiosum virus is the pox virus. What is that? Molluscum contagiosum virus is the pox virus. So molluscum contagiosum virus is a type of pox virus. So here the virus is different. That is the molluscum contagiosum virus is the type of pox virus. So this is the causative organism. So what are the clinical presentation of the water wart or the molluscum contagiosum? So most commonly I told you warts are the not painless. So these are the asymptomatic, no symptoms. Patient is present without symptoms. Color of the wart will be the pink papule, but this pink papule has the extra feature, and that extra feature is the central umbilication with central umbilicus. What is the central umbilicus? So when you look at this wart, so this wart in the center, this wart has the depression like this one, central umbilicus. So these are the asymptomatic pink papules with central umbilication or the central umbilicus. So what is the site for the water wart? So most commonly these water warts are present in the children, and on the children they are present on the face. Most commonly on the face, and in the adult they are present into the genital or the genital organs. So when they are present on the genital organs, so they become sexually transmitted infections. Clear? So site in the children they are present on the face, but in the adult they are present on the genitals. On the genitals they will become sexually transmitted infections, so they can sexually transmit. So what is the investigations? So investigation of this molluscum contagiosum is the histopathology. You will do the histopathology of the epidermis. You will get some part of the epidermis, and you will get the some part of the dermis, and also dermoepidermal junction. So when you look the epidermis, look at this is the epidermis, the stratum corneum, granulosum, whatever. So this is the dermoepidermal junction. So these are the papilla of the dermis that are going into the, this is the dermis. So green color is the dermis. So papilla of the epidermis. So this is the papilla of epidermis that are going into the dermis. So epidermal papilla into the dermis. So here is the epidermal papilla that is going into the dermis. So here you will see the HP bodies. What will you see? HP bodies. Where you will see the HP bodies? You will see the HP bodies. HP bodies mean Henderson Peterson bodies. HP mean Henderson Peterson or the Peterson bodies. I tell you what is the Henderson Peterson bodies. So these are the viral infections. So virus will go into the stratum granulosum or the keratinocytes, and in the keratinocytes it will leave the virion, okay, or the toxic substances, okay, or the proteins. So I should draw it very proper, maybe it will be not clear. So what is the HP bodies? HP bodies. HP bodies mean Henderson Peterson. Henderson Peterson bodies. What are the HP bodies or Henderson Peterson bodies? These are the inclusion bodies. Inclusion bodies. So you know what are the inclusion bodies? Inclusion bodies are two types. Maybe you have studied in your virology two types. One is the intracytoplasmic, intracytoplasmic, and other inclusion bodies are the intranuclear. Intranuclear inclusion bodies. Inclusion bodies. Actually, these inclusion bodies are formed inside the cell due to viral infection. Viral infection, and that virus will leave the virion inside the cell, or proteins or the viral proteins inside the cell. So when there is accumulation of the virions or the viral protein inside the cell, that will make the inclusion bodies. So when these are the intracytoplasmic, intra mean inside and cytoplasm, look at this is the new cell, inside the cell this is the nucleus, but here there is a collection of the proteins. These are the collection of proteins or collection of the virions. So these collection of the proteins or virions are making the inclusion bodies, and such inclusion bodies are intracytoplasmic inclusion bodies. When you stain it, they will give the pink color. It means they are stainable. You can stain them easily, so they will give the pink color. So these are the intracytoplasmic inclusion bodies. So intracytoplasmic inclusion bodies can be seen in the molluscum contagiosum, or we call them the molluscum bodies, and these can be seen in the rabies, and the rabies and bodies are called the negri bodies. Negri bodies. So when there are the negri bodies are the intracytoplasmic inclusion bodies that can be seen into the disease rabies. And when there are the molluscum bodies, and these molluscum bodies can be seen in the disease of the molluscum contagiosum or the water wart. So water wart and rabies both have the inclusion bodies, and these inclusion bodies are the intracytoplasmic. Other name of these bodies are the Henderson-Peterson bodies. So on the histopathology, you can see there are the HP bodies. Other name of the HP bodies are the molluscum bodies, and they will give the pink color on the staining. So these molluscum bodies, HP bodies, Henderson-Peterson bodies are intracytoplasmic bodies. These intracytoplasmic inclusions, actually these are the virions or proteins that are collected inside the cytoplasm. So you can see so these inclusion bodies, HP bodies, can be seen at the dermal papilla. Where dermal papilla, I will show you the image, don't worry. And there are the intranuclear bodies. It means this is the cell, here is the bigger nucleus of the cell. So when these bodies are inside the nucleus, virions or the proteins are inside the nucleus, that are called intranuclear inclusion bodies. So these intranuclear inclusion bodies can be seen in the herpes. They can be seen in the herpes. You know, herpes simplex virus or the herpes zoster. We have already told you there will be a zinc smear. Zinc smear. On the zinc smear, you will see there are the multinucleated giant cells. What is that? Multinucleated giant cell. Actually, these multinucleated giant cells have the inclusion bodies that are intranuclear inclusion bodies. These can also be seen, intranuclear inclusion bodies can also be seen in the poliovirus. What is that? Poliovirus. So when there is a poliovirus, then you can, on the histopathology, you can see the intranuclear inclusion bodies. So clear? So HP bodies, Henderson bodies are the molluscum bodies. These are the investigations of the molluscum contagiosum. So these HP bodies, molluscum bodies are Henderson-Peterson bodies are inclusion bodies, and these inclusion bodies are the intracytoplasmic inclusion bodies, and these can be seen when you will do the histopathology, especially at the dermoepidermal junction or the dermal papilla. Where? Dermal papilla. Look at here. When you do the histopathology of this area, so you will see the pink color intracytoplasmic inclusion bodies, and these pink color intracytoplasmic inclusion bodies are the HP bodies or molluscum bodies. So here investigation of the choice or investigation is the presence of the HP bodies. What is that? You will see the HP bodies. That is the Henderson-Peterson bodies. Is it clear? So What are the HP bodies? HP bodies are the nucleon bodies. These nucleon bodies can be two type, intracytoplasmic and intranuclear. Intracytoplasmic nucleon bodies, actually nucleon bodies are due to the viral infection. There is accumulation of virion or the viral proteins. So intracytoplasmic nucleon bodies are molluscum, that can be seen in the molluscum contagiosum, or the negri bodies that can be seen in the rabies. Other the intranuclear, that intranuclear bodies are the virions or viral proteins that will accumulate inside the nucleus, so that can be seen in the herpes zoster. So you will see on the Zinc smear there will be multinucleated giant cells, and also can be seen in the polio virus. But here investigation is the HP bodies, Henderson Peterson bodies. Clear? So when you have investigated, then you will treat it. So what is the treatment for the molluscum contagiosum? So here the treatment is simple. First, cryotherapy. Cryotherapy means cold therapy. You will go with the cold therapy. Second, electrocautery, TCA application. Okay, so you can give the trichloroacetic acid application, and that TCA application is the chemical cautery. Chemical cautery. So this is the treatment for the molluscum contagiosum. So molluscum contagiosum is a virus that is the type of the pox virus. Clear? So what is the investigation? Investigation of the molluscum contagiosum is the presence of the HP bodies or the molluscum bodies, and these HP bodies or molluscum bodies are the pink color bodies that can be seen intracytoplasmic, inside the cytoplasm of the keratinocytes. So next one, fifth, other one is the seborrheic wart. So next kind of the is the seborrheic wart or the warts. Seborrheic means sebum. So this word seborrheic wart, it is misnomer. Seborrheic wart is misnomer. So actually, how it is misnomer? It is not related to sebum. So it is not related to sebum. Therefore, it is not a seborrheic, and these are not warts. Therefore, this word is misnomer. So they have nothing related to the sebum, and nothing, not these are the warts, and these are the papules. So their actual name is seborrheic keratosis. Seborrheic keratosis. And we can also call them basal cell papilloma. Basal cell papilloma. These are the names, actual names. So other names are the seborrheic keratosis or the basal cell papilloma. So these are the misnomer. What are the misnomer? Clear? So what are the clinical presentations and what are the pathology? So clinical feature of the seborrheic wart or the seborrheic keratosis or the basal cell papilloma. So these are rough, waxy, scaly, wart-like lesions or wart-like lesions. So these are the rough. So verrucous wart is also rough, waxy in color, scaly in color, and these are wart-like lesions. Mean these are the papules. Actually, these are not wart. These are looking like wart. And where these rough warty lesions are present, what are the site for the lesions? So these lesions are present most commonly on the trunk and head or scalp. Most commonly present on the trunk and head. So what are the size of these lesions? Actually, size of the lesions are very small to the very big. So these can be from the pinhead. Pinhead mean head of the pin and up to the 5 to 6 centimeter in diameter, because this is a benign tumor. Here is the papilloma. So this is the benign tumor of the skin because it is a papilloma. So this benign tumor of the skin can be very small pinhead tumor up to the 5 to 6 centimeter in diameter. So seborrheic warts are actually benign tumor of the skin. Benign tumor of skin. These are not a wart and not a seborrheic. So other name is the seborrheic keratosis. It is a keratosis. So also known as basal cell. You know, epithelium has the last layer, that is the basal cell layer, and that is the basal cell papilloma, and therefore it is known as benign tumor of the skin. So when it is not a wart, therefore, it is not the HPV infections. So it is not a wart. So it is not the human papilloma virus infection. Just only it is the benign tumor of skin. So what is the pathophysiology for this one? Or the benign tumor of the skin? So pathophysiology is the actually it is the keratinization disorder. Pathophysiology. When you check the pathophysiology, actually it is a keratinization disorder. Keratinization disorder. You know, when the keratinocytes, basal cell will change, turn into the spinosum, then granulosum, then stratum. So this is the keratinization. So it is a keratinization disorder that will show the proliferation. So this keratinization disorders will show the proliferation of the keratinocytes under sunlight, when exposed to the sunlight over a period of time and age. With the time and age, it means when your skin is exposed to the sunlight for long period of time and with the elder age, then there will show the keratinization disorders. It means there will start the proliferation of the keratinocytes, and most of the time it will show the sign. So this will show the sign. What is the sign of this benign skin tumor? Is the lesser trellet sign. Lesser trellet sign. LESER, or we call it laser. Laser trellet sign. TRELAT. Laser trellet sign. So what is the laser trellet sign? So laser trellet sign means sudden eruption of seborrheic keratosis. So laser trellet, trellet sign means sudden eruption of these warts associated with malignant acanthosis nigricans. Malignant acanthosis nigricans. So you know, acanthosis nigricans can be seen when there is a polycystic ovarian syndrome or the hyperinsulinemia are the type 2 diabetes mellitus. When acanthosis means thickness of the skin. So when the thickness of the skin will become malignant or the tumorous, acanthosis means thickness. So when your skin is become thickened and that thickness will become malignant, so then there will be a sudden eruption of the seborrheic warts or the seborrheic keratosis. So that is the laser trillet sign. So laser trillet signs are the predisposed to the adenocarcinoma of the stomach. So when patient can dispose to the adenocarcinoma of stomach, so these seborrheic warts are predisposed. So they are predisposed to adenocarcinoma of stomach and also associated with the malignant acanthosis nigricans, 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 I should write it, cans. Acanthosis means thickness, nigricans mean black. So skin will become thickened and black and also malignant. So due to that one, there will be a sudden start of the eruption of these seborrheic warts. Okay, so how will you treat this benign tumor of skin? You know, this is the benign tumor of the skin. Or so how will you treat this seborrheic dermatitis? Treatment is nothing too much important. You can treat it by the cryotherapy, and that cryotherapy with the liquid nitrogen. You can use the liquid nitrogen. So cryotherapy can be used with the liquid nitrogen. That is the benign tumor of the skin or the seborrheic warts can be treated. Clear? So here our viral infections of the skin are going to be complete. So I want to discuss some clinical cases and you will give me the answer of that clinical cases. Maybe it will help you too much. So first one clinical case or clinical scenario. So please open your both ears. First clinical case is the a 12 years old male. So I should write it completely. Old male, kidney transplant recipient, transplant recipient. Age is 12 years old, male, and the transplanted kidney. Has the multiple brown keratotic papules. He has multiple brown keratotic papules. Keep in mind these are papules. Color of the papules is brown on forehead and scalp. What is the causative agent? What is the causative agent for these keratotic brown papules? Because this is a organ donation. Organ has been donated, you know, kidney transplant. So this is the organ donation, organ transplantation, organ transplantation. So viral infections can also transmit through the organ transplantation. So age is 12 years old, male, and the kidney transplant recipient has the multiple brown keratotic papules. These papules site is the forehead and scalp. So what is the causative agent? When you know the causative agent, definitely you will know the diagnosis. What is the causative agent? Definitely you will know the diagnosis. So good. One student is good. Here the causative agent for according to you is the HPV. Good. So causative agent is the HPV, human papilloma virus, not a cytomegalovirus. Keep in mind, causative agent is the HPV. And that HP, now you will discuss where this HPV, human papilloma virus, is present. So look at here. These papules are present according to the site. These are present on the forehead and the scalp. I told you on the forehead are plana, verruca plana. So HPV, human papilloma virus, we call it verruca plana. Verruca plana. Verruca mean warts, plana mean plain warts. So these are plain warts that are present on the forehead, verruca plana. So HPV, and for the verruca plana, subtype of the HPV is 3 and 10. So causative organism is the human papilloma virus, and that is the verruca plana because site is on the forehead. So when they are present on the forehead, we call them the plana, and these are verruca. So these are present on the plane surface. Scalp is the plane surface, forehead is the plane surface. So human papilloma virus, verruca plana, that is the subtype is the 3 and 10. So why this 12 years old? Because you know viral infection is most commonly infect those people who are immunocompromised. But this 12 years old male has a sufficient immunity. Why this 12 years old male has the verruca plana? What is the cause? What is the cause of this? You know, I have already told you, mentioned you, this is the kidney transplant recipient. So due to the kidney transplant recipient, due to the organ transplantation, you are giving this patient as the immunosuppressant. What you are giving? You are giving the immuno because he was given the immunosuppressant. So his immunity is lost. So when the immunity is lost, then infections by the human papilloma virus will become more verrucous or more dangerous. So because he was given the immunosuppressant due to the kidney transplant. Good. Excellent. So that is the verruca plana and the human papilloma. So diagnosis is the causative organism is the HPV 310. That is the diagnosis is the verruca plana, plain wart. What are the plain warts? So how will you treat it? Treatment is the cryotherapy, TCA. You will give the trichloroacetic acid, cryotherapy, and the electrocautery. Okay, so this is the one question. Next question number two. Question number two is the a patient has pink papule. So this is the question number two. A patient has pink papule. So these are papules and color of these papules is pink and plaques over genital, over genitalia or the genital organs. What serotype of the HPV? Serotype of HPV, human papilloma virus, is likely to cause. So patient has the color of the papules is pink, and these are papules and site is the genitalia. I have already told you in the start of the dermatology. In the dermatology, you will look for the morphology and site and treatment. Three things are important. First one is the morphology of the lesion. In the morphology of the lesion, you will look the what is the shape of the lesion. This is the round, umbilicus, color, and then second you will look the site of the lesion where the lesion is present, and third thing you will check the treatment where you will give the steroids and where you will not give the steroids. So here he has given the answer is serotype is the HPV, but this HPV is present on the infection is present on the genitalia. So what is the type of the wart? Good. So type of the wart is the not a water wart. Keep in mind that is the anogenital wart. This is the on the genitalia, so that is the anogenital wart. So water warts are most commonly seen in children on their face, and in the adult they are present on the genitals. But here is the HPV, okay, but the water warts are due to the pox virus. I already mentioned you that is the subtype of the pox virus. So that is the anogenital wart. Keep in mind. So anogenital wart and type or serotype is the HPV 6 most dominant. HPV 6 is the most dominant. Clear? So third question. Third question is the 5 years old girl, 5 years old girl